I feel it's a privilege to work as an ecologist with Chevron here on Barrow Island. This is a wild place. You're isolated 90 kilometres from the mainland. There are plants and animals around you that you don't see in many places here in Australia. And that's what makes Barrow Island special. The mammal fauna here have evolved and survive and persist in an environment without exotic mammal predators.
What we've been doing here on Barrow Island is an example of how it's possible for oil and gas industry to coexist with the environment. The environment on Barrow Island is exceptional, but it remains exceptional 40 years after we started producing oil here. And that's because we have planned what we do on Barrow Island. An example of one thing we're doing is having a very strict quarantine regime. That means that everybody and everything, including food and equipment and materials that come to Barrow Island, will go through a rigorous quarantine procedure before getting to Barrow Island. And the equipment, before it leaves and wherever it's being built around the world, will be inspected and be washed and will be packaged where it's appropriate to make sure there's not one seed in there that could possibly get out and germinate on Barrow Island.
I find this an amazing job. I work as an ecologist here on this isolated place, and I get to be involved in a variety of research programs that involve community people out there who work on marine turtles. What we have here is a flatback turtle. It's only found in Australian waters. They're fairly threatened by national standards, and we consider these beaches quite valuable to protecting the species. Part of the work that Chevron is involved in is a fairly robust scientific research program that tries to understand the population size of these animals, and we've been doing that over the last 4 years. She'll dig to about 1/2 metre depth, then she'll go into a trance, and then she'll start to lay the eggs. And that's the first stage of the life cycle, but it's also the first stage where the eggs can be subject to predation. So you get a lot of natural predators on this island. The Parenti is Australia's largest lizard. It can grow up to 2 metres in length. The patterns are very much like Aboriginal art at its best. They use their tongue to sense what's around them, and often they'll use a tongue to try and smell the eggs that the turtles have just laid. They'll dig up the nest and are quite a common predator of turtle eggs in the area. And it's this coexistence which we try and understand and which we try and manage in a way that we can ensure that we don't change the ecosystem function of this landscape. Biodiversity is everything you see around you. It's the plant life, the animal life, and taken together, this is the type of biodiversity that Chevron aims to manage in a responsible manner.